I'm Darren.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Stacks.
And you're listening to the Old School Movements. We're here again, 2020, Old School Movements again, guys. I like repeating myself like 4 times when I say one thing. I should just try and get it down to 2. Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah. Concur. So yeah, we're here, New Year again, 2020. Big things going to be happening this year.
New decade, man.
New decade.
Start a new decade.
Yeah. Got here again.
80's was still 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still 20 years ago.
That's our maths. That's our maths. But what is this decade called then? What
are we into now?
The 20s.
We're in the 20s.
The 20s.
The 20s part 2.
Yeah, it's the last decade. I ain't sure about.
What was the last?
Yeah, we're back. We're in the 20s.
In the 20s again. Mammy.
Crazy.
20s here again. I listen to jazz and stuff, man. But hey, old school. You know how we like to keep it old school, ladies and gentlemen. And this time we're going to get into some game shows, man, because game shows were a part of your childhood as well. Other than your cartoons and your Dallas and what else was on TV, game shows were there with you.
They were part of it, yeah. You had your everyday game shows, you had your weekly ones,
your
special ones on a Saturday.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to go through in chronological order. The way you saw your game shows, UK game shows mostly.
Yeah, mainly UK.
Well, a lot of these shows were
US
converted.
ones.
Yeah, they were US and they got converted into UK game shows. If you wasn't playing with your own toys or games and that, the game show was like the filler. But you had a show that you would want to watch, game show, and then an adult show. Do you know what I mean? It was in between. It's like time to go to bed, or you go in bed at this time.
I was going to say it might be the last show of the night.
Last show of the night, a weekday game show, especially weekday, it was a school night.
Yeah.
So, but there were ones in the daytime as well. If you had a sick day, you may bump into these game shows.
You might bump into it.
And say, look, let's get into it, man. 15 to 1.
15 to 1.
You guys remember 15 to 1?
It seemed like it ran for years. Like, that was always on. It was one of them daily ones.
That was, yeah.
It was on every day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One of them daily ones.
Well, that's where we are, the daytime section.
Yeah. That seemed like it was always on. Whenever you got in, you put the telly on, 15 to 1's on. And for a kid, it weren't the most exciting.
Yeah, no, I never wanted to watch that.
I grew to like it as I grew up, and it weren't too bad. But
Yeah.
you're right.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I know it was a simple-ish game show. I think it was 15 contestants. They had 3 lives. You had there to answer questions. It's about all I can remember. But I know you obviously lost a live, and then
I just know the title. I can't remember. I can't remember what went into it. But
do you remember the presenter?
Who was the presenter?
William G. Stewart. But yeah, he presented it and also produced the show. He was involved in writing a lot of the questions as well, because they must have covered thousands of questions over the years that it ran.
How long did it go on for?
From 88 to 2003.
Jeez.
Was that Channel 4?
Channel 4. Yeah, when was Channel 4 come out? It weren't one of their first shows. They were out before that, weren't they?
Yeah.
It was one of their biggest. It must have been one of their biggest daytime quiz shows, because it ran for that long.
That's a long time.
Yeah, long one.
But
man.
was there a theme tune for it? Was there anything?
It must have been. They've all got these catchy theme tunes,
but
but that one didn't catch.
That one didn't catch.
I can't remember it. I can just remember the 15 podiums, him in the middle, like welcome to 15 to 1. And here's your host, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's about it. It'd be a switch the channel.
But the next one, they had a memorable one. I don't remember a lot of it, but all I remember is going for gold. The heat is on.
The time is right.
It's time for you.
Yeah. I haven't heard that since them days. Oh my God, going for gold.
That's what I remember.
For that, all I remember about that, it was Henry Kelly.
Yeah.
He used to do something else at the time. Wasn't he in a comedy show? Came for a lot, a comedy show. Wasn't
That's
he? He was
right.
part of the
Team
with Jeremy Beadle.
They used to prank people
That's
and that.
right.
And there was a woman, I can't remember.
Sally,
someone.
Yeah.
So I remember him from it. But with that, the reason I thought it was weird, it was a European game show. When it was,
right.
I think it was shot in Ireland.
Yeah.
And all the contestants were from like
all around the world. It was like Europeans just challenging each other on general knowledge.
Yeah, European games. That's all I remember about it.
But did you know? Again, like we were saying, some shows are American and so on. Going for Gold was an American show.
Oh,
It was
I
an American
thought that would've
idea,
been
and it was
European.
called Run for the Money.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Actually.
But they changed it for UK, but they didn't want to mention money.
Yeah.
So
going
Gold.
Going for gold.
Going
Henry
for gold.
Kelly.
Yeah. And do you know that composer Hans Zimmer?
Yes. Yeah.
He wrote that song. The theme tune for Going for Gold.
Ah, the time is right.
Yeah,
The
it's up
time
to
is-
you. Hans Zimmer. Yeah. We've got the keys to his Zimmer now.
But if I think about Going for Gold, that takes me on to another one that was on daily all the time. So, again, when I was that age, sometimes I could watch it. It's Blockbusters.
I love Blockbusters, man.
Some people liked
Yeah.
it, and there was days when I was in the mood. I'd watch a bit of Blockbusters.
Yeah, but that was like
I love an evening,
evening-ish.
Bob.
It's about 5 o'clock.
About 5-ish, yeah.
And that was like Danger Mouse had finished or Count Ducker had finished,
Yeah.
and Blockbusters is coming on.
Yeah.
And what I liked about Blockbusters, you don't see any other show. It's always 2 against 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
it was
if you're
2
that
against
one
1.
person
Yeah.
with your mascot,
Yeah, I forgot about the mascots. They all
Yeah.
had the little bears.
once you
or
had your
whatnot.
mascot
Yeah.
and it's you,
Trolls.
you're a winner.
But the person with the one, they had a shorter distance to travel across the
Yeah,
board than what the
they
two
had one
people
less
did.
question
They had
to
one less
answer.
question to
Yeah.
answer, and that's how it sort of
Yeah,
equaled out. But that was another
balanced it
US show. I can't remember what it was called in the US, but I know it. That was
Was it?
Yeah, based on the US
Yeah.
game show.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure it had. I'm sure I've seen it. I only thought of this recently that Dara O'Brien was doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, he
on
was.
the Comedy
Yeah.
Central or something. I don't know if it was.
Well,
a
he's a
one-off.
presenter now.
Yeah. It's something I
Okay.
saw recently. Well, not
I
that
think
long
within
ago.
the
It was
last
sort of-
2 months, 3 months.
I saw it probably about 6 months ago or something, but it was only when I was thinking about it. I'm sure I've seen it recently with Dara O'Brien on it, but I don't know if that's a proper
But
thing.
I
or
know
one-off
before
thing.
that they had radio presenter Simon Mayo. He was doing it. He
Was
came to Sky. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but I remember I done
I
that
probably did have
advert for that.
Did you?
For Blockbusters.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably
yeah.
didn't have Sky in them days.
I ain't that old.
No, I was still quite recent to Sky. I was stuck with the 4 or 5 channels for a while.
So yeah, Blockbusters, man.
These
But,
still seem like, I know they're 80s, but they were like new for the 80s, weren't they? Them ones.
what's that?
That we were just talking about, 15 to 1 Going for Gold Blockbusters. They seem to sort of be fresh new ideas for that. For that era.
Yeah.
But do you remember like older ones that sort of drifted through maybe from the 70s into the 80s? and
Daytime
beyond?
ones?
Yeah, like I'm sure Winner Takes All. Do you remember?
Winner takes all.
Winner Takes All.
Yeah.
With,
All I remember is that song.
I remember a couple of bits of it. I think it's one of my early TV memories. I remember it was Jimmy Tarbuck
Jimmy
Jimmy
Tarbuck
presented it, wasn't it? It was
bloody
Jimmy
hell.
Tarbuck.
It was,
the
yes.
Liverpudlian
Yeah.
comedian. And a guy called Jeffrey Wheeler used to be the voice. You know, all these game shows normally had a voice. didn't
Yeah.
And your host.
they? But he done loads.
But they
back
would
in the
always
day.
like bust joke with each other and that, innit?
Yeah, banter between each
Ah.
other. And yeah, this one was Jeffrey Wheeler. And I remember there was a bit in it where Tarby would say, like, you had to gamble, didn't you? You had to gamble on a question or something. I think. I didn't know betting odds, so
Yeah.
it confused me when I was little. But I remember a bit where he used to say, press your buttons and gamble away. And they would push it, and then it was something like their questions had to match, because then the voiceover Jeffrey would say, "Oh, we have a wide difference of opinions here, Jim." And them two sayings, they've stayed in my head from early on. I think my dad used to watch this.
Yeah.
And it's just they're early TV.
I just remember the theme tune. Now you jog my memory with Jimmy Tarbuck. But again, I can't remember.
Ran from 75 to 86.
75.
Yeah.
To when?
75,
Sorry.
86. So
Wow.
we definitely would have seen it.
You
like,
would have seen it.
early 80s.
Yeah, I clearly remember it, but I can't remember the.
But it was like betting on odds on general knowledge questions. But I always remember, like, we've got a wide difference of opinions here, Jim. The voiceover, like, and it was quite a famous saying for in them days. But they were like early TV memories. So I remember.
Jimmy
I
Tarbuck
remember
was on a
Winner
lot
Takes
of
All.
programs sometimes.
He was.
He was doing a lot of present. When you think about it, a lot of the quiz show presenters were stand-ups in them days.
Yeah,
They were all
yeah,
stand-up
yeah.
comedians started off normally, I suppose.
yeah,
Which,
yeah.
thinking about today, probably it's still that way today.
It's
A
still
lot
that
of
way.
the-
Yeah.
a lot of the quiz shows are comedians, isn't they?
Yeah,
Stand-ups.
that's the pattern. Yeah.
Mm.
So this next show is still around now. Keith Lemon does it now. But back in the day,
Yeah.
is who lives in a house like this through the keyhole, man.
Lloyd Grossman.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was the first time the public got to see. No, there weren't no Hello
Yeah.
magazine
There
or
weren't no MTV
or
Cribs.
MTV
Yeah.
Cribs, and
Yeah.
do you know what I
You're
mean?
right, you're
So
right.
that was, and
It
that,
was worth watching. wasn't it?
yeah,
You wanted to
because
see.
you were like,
You
who
see,
are they
like,
going to
yeah, what
show?
kind of stuff they had in their yard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to like Through the Keyhole.
yeah,
And it
it's
was
true.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. What was his name?
Lloyd Grossman.
No,
No, we
Lloyd
just said
Grossman was the
Lloyd
guy.
Grossman.
He was the guy in the house, but they went back to the studio. Oh, David Frost.
David Frost.
David Frost. David
Yes.
Frost. I used to like that. Hello,
David-
good evening, and welcome.
yeah.
And
That's
them
right.
two worked good
That's
together.
right.
They were
That's right. That was a good
little act.
partnership. Yeah, through the keyhole, man. Just look, looking into the mansions and
It was wicked.
yeah,
they were good. And
That's-
David, it's over to you.
That's right. And another one just popped up into my mind, when you was doing this podcast, man, and like another daytime one with Schnorbits and Bernie Winters. Whose Baby?
Whose Baby? Yes, that was. Yeah, it was a daytime one, wasn't it?
Whose Baby?
Like a Pebble Mill thing or something.
Yeah.
It was on around that time.
And for those guys that if you remember the title but don't remember what it's about, it's basically, who's a celebrity child, right?
Yeah.
Whose parents are celebrities, and so you
Did
went.
they have a sibling of a celebrity in the studio? I think, didn't they, or were they looking
Yeah.
at pictures of them?
No, I'm not sure. I think it was like through the keyhole. So they showed you like the child would talk about their parents' occupation,
Like what they do, yeah.
or something. Do you know what I mean? And it was relatable to what And it was like, just think of Who's the Keyhole, but someone's saying to you, and my dad plays the piano. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
he was on that show.
Ah,
ask
yeah, I'm
questions.
starting
And
to remember it now.
exactly. I'm sure it was like
Is
that.
your
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
so-and-so,
yeah.
so-and-so,
Yeah.
whatever? I particularly remember it from the Bernie Winters Schnorbits era, 83 to 88.
Wow.
That year, but also it's been presented by Roy Castle and Leslie Crowther, which Roy Castle
okay.
we know from
The ready money round.
Record Breakers and
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Roy Kinnear.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Roy. Am I thinking Roy Walker?
Roy Walker.
I'm
yeah.
thinking of
Roy
catchphrase.
Roy
We'll get-
Castle.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
get
get
to
that.
Yeah.
But Roy Castle.
Roy Castle
Yeah.
from we know from Record Breakers and Leslie Crowther, which again another quiz show host.
That's
isn't he,
right.
To us.
That's right. Yeah. So Who's Baby and
Whose Baby was good.
you know, going back to theme tunes, man, and tunes like instrumentals. I think early daytime tunes, apart from Going to Gold, of course, their instrumentals were the ones that done it for them, like blockbusters.
Didn't have many with words actually.
Yeah, exactly. But this one, it still goes on now, and it's better, boo, and Countdown, man. Like,
Countdown's big,
like
yeah,
Countdown
Countdown's good.
sits with blockbusters. It's the ultimate
Yeah.
student TV.
Yeah.
You know, teenage TV. You know, when you're a kid TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's still going now.
Still going now, and it was Channel 4's opening show. It was the first thing that was ever broadcast on Channel 4. Yeah, it was the opening show, and the guy who presented it was Richard Whiteley.
That's right.
Richard Whiteley.
That's right.
His words were the first words to be spoken on Channel 4. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
First face ever seen, first words ever to be spoken on Channel 4.
And what year was that?
82. 2nd of November 82 is when Channel 4 launched. I've got more into the proper countdown now from watching 8 out of 10 Cats doing Countdown, which I think that was for like a celebrity comic relief special that they done. I think it was comic relief years ago, maybe in 2010 or something, and then from then it's now its own show because it was that popular. But I do like that the humour on that and the guests they have, it's good.
Nice. So yeah, daytime TV, you know, you're putting a sick day off school, or there's no school that day, you know, and those were the shows that were on. But as it got to like 4 o'clock, you know, after 4, even coming into the weekends, you had game shows for us.
Yeah,
that
children's game
that,
shows,
you know,
yeah.
John Craven's Newsround was on.
In
you know.
amongst your daily, daily cartoon and your Blue Peter, you'd have your own.
You
game
have
show.
your own game shows. So we had stuff like Checkers Plays Pop.
Checkers, man. Oh.
Checkers Plays Pop.
Damn, I didn't-
Again.
I never really used to watch it, but I remember that bit.
It's one of them ones, yeah.
I just remember that tune. What happened in it?
I don't
I have
know.
no idea.
I remember there was two school teams, maybe, I don't know, half a dozen kids in each, and they battled against each other. I think it was doing like physical activities to get points to go up the week's current top 10 of the charts.
Okay.
I just don't get where the pop bit came into. There must have been references
Was it
to
like
songs.
pop
Music,
questions
innit?
or something?
Was it
Must
answering
be.
questions about the songs? I don't know. And I know it was normally to do with the current top 10. That was how it sort of worked.
Okay.
Every week it'd slightly change because there'd be a new top 10 or a new thing. I'm sure it was something like that, but
I just
I
remember
don't know
the
what
theme
I don't know
tune,
what the aim of it was. I don't know what they won out of it.
But it was good.
It was good.
Just
It was
like
good. Everyone
Cracker Jack.
cheered. Cracker Jack
Yeah.
was another one. Cracker Jack was a bit better, I thought. I liked Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
That for me, that's cabbage booby prizes, wasn't it?
When they put a whole lot of toys in your arms
I wanted to play that.
and weighed you down with cabbages and stuff, and you're holding on to Evil Knievel, Big Track, Star
I wanted
Wars,
to play that so bad.
Bionic Man, Scare Electric,
I'm
slipping down your arms.
cabbage on it.
Oh, and you're covered in goo and sugar puffs and feathers and yeah.
Man, that was another one. It had loads of different presenters going up through the years.
I remember Stu Francis.
Stu Francis was our area. Cause it started in 1955 with Eamon Andrews, Leslie Crowther, Michael Aspel, Ed Stewart, and Stu Francis. Stu Francis being, like you say, the ones that.
Ooh, I Could Crush a Grape.
Ooh, I Could Crush a Grape. He done it from 80 to 84. Yeah. Ooh, I Could Crush a Grape. He had, what was the other one? Ooh, I Could Test Drive a Tonka.
Ooh, I Could Wrestle Action Man.
Wrestle Action Man. Ooh, I Could Duff Up a Daffodil. Ooh, I Could jump off a doll's house. Ooh, I Could Rip a Tissue. That's what I can remember of him. Them sayings and cabbages, like you say, standing on a box, balancing, holding toys and cabbages. That is my really only
and
memory.
all the guns, they're
getting gunged and
apple
stuff.
bobbing and all that madness.
Yeah. But Crackerjack looked fun. It was one of them shows. Yeah, I wanted to be on that.
Just like Run Around
with
Mike Reed.
Yeah.
Frank Butcher, man.
Yeah.
He
acted like Frank Butcher, innit? Like, I do remember
Run around.
it. Yeah.
Go on, son. Go on.
Yeah. I do remember it. And I think also, I remember Stan Baldwin presenting that. Remember that guy, where was he from? He had a proper accent, didn't he? I don't know if he was a Geordie or a Liverpool. Yeah, he was. Yeah. It was always the Germans, that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's
the Germans?
right. Yeah.
That dude. He presented it from
with Mike, there.
You're right with Mike Reed. I remember him getting criticised for being too nasty at the children. Like he used to shout at them if they got the answers wrong.
You got the answer wrong, boy.
You can imagine how he was in EastEnders, isn't he? Doing that.
That's not the right answer, boy.
He said that if you don't keep them quiet, you wouldn't have a show. They wouldn't.
They just run amok, wouldn't
they? He goes, I've got to be aggressive. I've got to be not nice to the kids.
Wow. Oh, that's deep.
I forgot. I did it again. What was the runaround? What was the idea?
I think they were in a centre and they had to run around and
just to run into a circle.
Get
or something.
to a circle. Yeah.
Run into a circle or something, wasn't it?
Something like that. I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good, man. That was another one that's 70s that drifted on into the mid 80s or something like that.
Yeah. But do you remember a sly one with Christopher Biggins and Gillian Telforth, the woman in EastEnders?
Kathy
in EastEnders, called On Safari.
On Safari.
On ITV.
That was weird.
Do you remember
was that? Was that a daytime thing?
It was a kids kids
hour.
hour.
It was during CITV.
Yeah.
I got it.
The equivalent of CITV, whatever it was called.
I remember that was from 82 to 84.
And I remember this swinging from vine to vine. You could fall in gunge.
It looked alright.
Yeah, I was showing on a show. That I used to watch and go, all these green gunge and.
There's a whole jungle.
You had to collect things. It's like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but for kids in the 80s in a studio.
Yeah, it did look
kind
quite
of
good.
thing.
If you were like into Indiana Jones, it would have been quite good.
Yeah, I did like that. But later on as years got on, you had more shows like Nightmare.
Nightmare was good.
And Funhouse.
Funhouse, yeah.
And Funhouse went into, how long did that? But that went into the 90s, didn't it?
That carried on going for a while. I'm not sure on the dates, and I don't remember much about it. But that was another one that always seemed on.
Yeah.
It was Pat Sharp.
The
Critters.
Yeah.
or at the time he was like it was a Capital Radio DJ, I think at the time. He was known for that.
Yeah. But Funhouse was a.
Funhouse was good, man. Yeah, you want to be on it. I just for the go-karting bit at the end.
Yeah, there's so many courses on it.
Yeah, that was the best bit.
That was the best bit. And the actual Funhouse bit looked quite good. But there's fun houses like that for kids now, isn't it? That weren't really about these fun houses.
Yeah. Was that on a Friday? That show?
I think it was.
I think it
might have been a Friday, build up to the weekend.
Yeah.
So there was an adult version apparently shot. Yeah. Back I think in the late 80s with Linda Lusardi was presenting it, the ex-Page 3 model at the time, and one of the contestants was Carol Smiley. This is before Wheel of Fortune days, before she was the model on Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, apparently there's footage out there of a weird pilot adult version of Funhouse.
A Funhouse.
A Funhouse.
Oh, wow.
It sounds fun.
Damn. When was that shot?
Late 80s.
Welcome to the house of fun.
That was more. It was wacky. It was fun. It's crazy. It's outrageous. Do you remember the theme tune?
No. What? To Funhouse?
Yeah. It's a real crazy show where anything goes. Funhouse. It's a quiz, it's a race, it's a real wacky place.
Yeah, I remember it.
Use your body and your brain if you want to play the game. I remember it used to be an odd one.
Wow. No, I don't remember that one. So. Yeah, you know, so you've seen your shows, your Who's Baby, your countdowns and that, man. But evening weekday, like say coming around 7 to 8 o'clock.
About 7 o'clock.
Before you're gonna go to bed and stuff.
On ITV.
ITV. There were some sly shows you wanted to watch, man, and mate, Lionel Blair, Una Stubbs. Give us a clue, man.
Lionel Blair.
Come on, man.
It was
sometimes it was daytime, sometimes it was evening.
Years.
That was the kind of show that would move it around.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that because I was going to say Mr. and Mrs. Was that a daytime?
No, that's
because sometimes it was daytime.
That's a move around show as well. That's an evening. That's in the weekday category.
Originally, it was an evening, wasn't it? I think, and that same with Give Us a Clue. But I think as time went on, they did get moved into an earlier tea time or it's sometimes afternoon, like with Mr. and Mrs. I know that was on in the afternoon. But they were definitely evening programs when they were originally come out, probably in the 70s.
But Give Us a Clue, man. That was a show again. A show where you could all
Michael
join in.
Aspel was
the host.
Yeah, because later on it was
Lionel Blair.
No,
he was the leader.
Parkinson, Michael Parkinson. But I always look at it as the Michael Aspel.
Yeah, so you had Una Stubbs versus Lionel Blair. And they had like 3 guests each. 2 or 3 guests each.
Yes,
everyone will go up and look at the card.
Yes.
There's always be someone who gets on the actions right and go back to Aspel, look at the card again, and redo it again. And it was a timer, wasn't it? Charades on TV.
Yes. It was charades. That's all it was charades.
But that's
it was men versus women as well.
Yeah,
which you don't get much in game shows.
But that's the thing. I didn't know charades as charades. I knew it was Give Us a Clue.
Give Us a Clue. Yeah.
That was
we learned that before charades.
Yeah. I didn't know charades. I knew Give Us a Clue. Let's play Give Us a Clue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I loved that because Lionel Blair always looked excited.
I loved it.
Yeah.
When you got the answer right, he'll stamp his feet and point his nose and point at you.
Yeah.
His nose and point at you.
That was his move.
I remember some of the things he had to act out. They were like 10 like a sentence with like 10 words in it. How's he going to do that? But he used to do it.
He used to do it.
He's 2 syllables and he's a film and all of that. The book, doing the actions here. You can't
Give
see
us
it.
a clue. That again, that's a game you can all play together.
You still do
but
I said like a Christmas time sort of thing, isn't it? Family sit round. None of us do it now,
but they do that one where you put it on your head, innit? And you go, that one. You get people
to newer version sort of now.
Isn't that? That's like Give Us a Clue, right?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, where people know who you are and they've got to convince you who you are. Sort of thing.
So
you get it on the phone as an app as well.
But
I remember Lisa Goddard. Remember Lisa Goddard?
She replaced Una Stubbs.
Yeah. Mid 80s, I think.
That's right.
Yeah,
no, that
was a classic. Man.
Give Us a Clue.
Again, I think it's been brought back a couple of times. I haven't seen them, so I don't want to spoil the memories I've had it. Then I don't think they can do it, without the original Lionel Blair and Michael Aspel. It's never going to be the same.
Give Us a Clue was good, man. I like that.
That was a good one.
University Challenge.
That was another daily. Was that a daily one or once a week one? No, it was once a week, wasn't it?
I'm not sure,
It seemed like it was on a lot.
Do you know what? The only reason why I watched it,
channel,
but it was so boring.
Yeah.
And I never heard of anyone called Bamba.
I was about to say, the only reason I watched it is because there was a guy called Bamba.
Yeah, I was like Bamba. I just want to hear
Bamba Gascoigne.
Yeah, and they
the Bamba Gascoigne.
And they show his Bamba. I want a Bamba.
That's what I used to think.
It's yeah. I would have a Bamba Gascoigne. It's like, whose name is Bamba Gascoigne? Like, so I watched it every week to hear them say it. I
can picture his glasses and curly
hair. Like, did I get that wrong? Like, Bamba Gascoigne.
Bamba Gascoigne.
But hey, to this day, do you know anyone called Bamba?
No. This is the first time I'm hearing the name, mate.
You've never heard Bamba Gascoigne?
No. Bamba Gascoigne.
You never watched the University Challenge?
No, I never watched it.
It was a good name back in it. I watched it, because of his name. But
I only watched
I knew it was 2
teams
teams of universities, wasn't it? 2 teams of 4 universities. The only reason I sort of know that is from the young ones.
Yes, the young ones done a university episode.
And he kicked his foot.
Yes.
Because it was shot as well. I think it was shot. I'm sure it was shot. They were sitting next to each other. But to fit it on the screen, because they didn't have the wide angle, they done like split screen. It was the first time you'd seen split screen on TV. So it looked like they were sitting on top of each other in a bank. In a bank of 8 boxes.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were. I think they were next to each other, and they just done that.
And when they pressed the buzzer, and it was zoomed in.
You zoomed in on them,
Yeah.
Lucas Chiswick College.
Yeah.
Extreme close-up.
Like it's a kung fu movie.
Yeah,
He was so
yeah.
serious, like the way Bamba like come across. He was so serious.
It was just.
But it was good.
They weren't good, but it was questions I couldn't answer. It was
No one could answer them questions.
That's why I never bothered watching.
Shakespeare couldn't even answer them questions.
Yeah, I was a kid. I didn't know. I wanted to know about.
Them questions came from Adam and Eve times.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know them questions. So it was just seeing Bamba, and that was it.
Oh, but I liked it because of the young ones.
Bamba Club, man. Honestly, yeah. I like that. So that was BBC Two, and BBC Two had weak shows, man. But they did. They had weak game shows.
They were a lot of university based,
Weak,
weren't they?
but
I
Mastermind.
blame that Open University that always used to be on during the day
Yeah.
at O2. They got something to do with it.
But Mastermind on BBC Two.
Mastermind.
Oh, it was on both channels. I remember seeing it on BBC Two.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on BBC
But
One.
I think
I
it
remember BBC One.
started on BBC Two, you know.
It's possible.
And
Could've
moved
done.
to BBC
Yeah,
One.
could have done. I remember.
But then
from
it got
BBC
popular.
One.
But Masterminds was a show where I just watched it to find out if anybody was going to have a specialist subject on Star Wars so I can play
I
along.
know what you mean. Yeah.
Seriously, I was thinking someone's got to say Star
You
Wars.
wanted to have someone with the
But more
same.
specifically, The Empire Strikes Back. I just needed... And
The life and times of Lord Vader between 1970 and
yeah. I wanted that. And I never... Sometimes you might get James Bond movies or something.
Yeah,
Something you could
would
get a couple
the odd,
of.
Yeah, you would get the odd one.
But...
They were hard though, innit? You
Very
had to be
hard.
a specialist in that subject, like you said.
Yeah, but
You gotta
that's
be a
what I'm
specialist.
saying. I would have smashed it.
They never had 80s cartoons and they never had Star Wars, so yeah, we weren't really.
Yeah, but they might have. But we didn't watch every
You didn't
episode.
watch every episode.
You
Yeah,
never
you
know
didn't
that
watch every
episode.
There's
that I-
25 episodes, 25 years that went
Yeah,
on for 72
yeah.
to 97.
So
That's
that
a long.
those weeks I decided not to watch it. Someone could have said it.
Do you remember it was
You have to
always? Do
YouTube it.
Yeah.
you remember it was always filmed in a chapel as well, or like a college hall? It wasn't a studio.
I
Do you remember it was always an
noticed
open,
that.
big backdrop, all darkly lit with the little small audience and
Okay.
the contestants.
I don't know. You know the black guy in the chase.
Yeah.
He's a mastermind champion.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's known for that famous black leather chair, wasn't it? Like I said,
Yeah.
the dark setting, the black leather chair. Always remember the is it Magnus?
Magnus.
That was another
yes.
good name. It sounded like an evil
Yeah,
villain, didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Magnus.
definitely.
But he always
Yeah,
seemed
time's
like
up, Magnus.
He was grumpy though, wasn't he? Like he weren't a friendly presenter.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
coming across a bit grumpy, like,
Yeah, like
hurry up, like, your
headmaster.
time's
Yeah,
finishing.
yeah.
Like, hurry up. I finished, but
Yeah.
I've got to carry on. I started, I finished.
Yeah.
Like, he's always like,
Yeah.
whoa, what? I
just
got to
hurry
mess
up.
with him.
Yeah.
I gotta mess with him.
Yeah, that buzzer.
Name and occupation. When you
Yeah.
sat down
Yeah.
straight away,
just
I'm
rushed you.
John and
Yeah,
I'm...
I've just sat down, man. Just getting
He
comfortable.
doesn't even want to know how you are.
Nah.
Name and occupation.
Innit? Give me the details, answer the questions, like, get off my show.
You used to scare me to watch
But
it.
what were the prizes on Mastermind?
Just the accolade of being the mastermind champion of the year, I think. That was
They should
it.
give you some money on a holiday. But okay, so, mate, this game show. I know this weren't daytime. This was evening, and I stayed up. I stayed up to watch this. You know, I think this started at 7 o'clock. Massive show. I got into it by just bumping into seeing people running around on an assault course and going down a zip line and thinking,
Oh.
that looks good.
I think I
But
know
when
what
I
you
watched it from the top and I saw what they had to go through and get to win, I don't even know what they won. But Gordon Burns presented the Krypton Factor.
The Krypton.
That was a
Factor.
big game. That was
Mate,
a big game.
mate, even the name, I thought it was related to Superman.
Yeah,
in
so
some
did
way.
I.
Yeah.
So did I. Yeah.
It was
I'm sure they
futuristic, though.
won. They
Yeah.
won a trophy that had some like green.
It's like a green
glass.
K. It's
It looked like
green-
kryptonite. Yeah, I was like, I want
like
that.
little blaze of
Little blaze of
kryptonite.
kryptonite. Yeah. So I want
Mate,
that.
the Krypton Factor, man.
77 to 95. Another long running show. That man.
Yeah, mate.
And it was split into like categories, weren't they? You had your
Obviously had sound, observation, skill.
mental agility, response, intelligence, and physical ability, general knowledge or something.
I like when they had the bit when they showed you a short film and you had to
Yeah.
remember stuff in the
Yeah.
background and
What
stuff.
was this doing? What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
That part, every part when you had to
They
put
were
the
all good.
puzzle together.
Puzzle
Yeah,
together
the
was
But that
puzzle
was
bit.
under a time limit. You're like,
Yeah.
all four of you are lined up,
Yeah.
and who
I
gets
always thought I'll be good at that. I'll be
Yeah.
good at the puzzle bit. I'll be good at that. But do you remember there was like a flight simulator? You had to like
Yeah.
land I think it was helicopter on a
Yeah.
deck or something. Or
Yeah.
it was a flight simulator, and of course,
But of course, the assault course, man.
Yeah,
everyone wanted to do the
But
assault
didn't
course.
women get a head start or
I think
something?
they did. Or they had
I'm sure they gave
smaller
women a
halls
head.
to go over.
I'm sure they gave women a head start.
It wasn't equal. In
There was
them
two
days.
guns. Or was it? Or
Or was it the team with the most points?
Or was it? Oh, yeah, it was a team with.
It was the gun actually.
It was your points. If you were, it was something about points. Remember, the gun went off
Yeah,
for you
so
and then
fire
for
it
someone
like 4 or
else.
5 times, letting them all off like different
I think the
intervals.
more points you had, the more time you had.
That's right.
Over the assault course or whatever.
That's right.
That was
That's
good.
right.
The
That's
Krypton factor was
right.
wicked.
But the assault course, man. But the zip line.
That was the end, wasn't it?
That was the bit.
The end bit, wasn't it?
Because you was tired by all that madness, jumping over walls, going under the net, and
Crawling through tunnels.
falling in the mud, crawling through tunnels on your elbows, and then the zip line. Yeah,
You're done.
it's like SAS training in one day, man.
For a
But-
game show.
That was good.
Mate, I loved that
good.
bit, and just going through the tape and. Yeah,
like
with
a
a
really-
Krypton factor of 8.
It was like a really...
A Krypton factor of 8. What?
It was like an early Ninja Warrior thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate, I love.
Nowhere near as good as Ninja Warrior.
I love. No, mate, Krypton. I can't. Diss
No,
Krypton
that
factor.
assault calls compared to...
Yeah,
like,
of course, yeah. But mate, the show. I mean, at
As
the
a
end, as
show,
you
was
say,
wicked.
general knowledge. Even the general knowledge bit I like.
Fast round.
Yeah.
Fast, yeah.
And when you get points deducted if you got it wrong.
If you got it wrong, I think you did,
Come
yeah.
on, man.
It was good. It was done
That,
wicked.
and that was a good bit at the end, because you could be on 30
Yeah.
and you start getting it wrong and you're 25 and someone...
Do you remember they used to cut the screen into 4 as well and have all 4
That's
faces
right.
in a line, but they were quite far apart as well. But it was like a Mario Kart screen, so they fit all 4 in.
Yeah, fit all 4
faces in.
And if you got your... Mate, come on.
Krypton
Gordon
Factor
Bird
was
and the
good.
Krypton Factor.
It was good.
Big show.
Yeah, that
Big
was
show.
wicked.
Big show. As you were saying earlier on, Stacks, Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why I liked it as a kid. Did you guys watch it?
I watched
It's
it.
probably
I watched
because
it. I liked
Benny
it.
Hill was on next.
Yeah, it was one
and I
of
just
them
had to
ones that
wait
There was something on.
to watch
Well, my
something.
mum would watch Mr. and Miss. She loved watching Mr. and
Yeah,
Miss.
it was just something to
Was
watch.
it Newlyweds? Was it people going
It was,
out?
it was whatever.
Whatever,
wasn't it?
just
You're
long as
married.
you, long
But
as you was a couple, you
as
could
long
go
as you was a
out.
couple, look, you was married. It was the 70s and 80s. you were married. You weren't just casual. Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, there's no living in sin here.
Yeah, no sin in them days, mate. You were a married couple.
I don't remember.
Couple
and
kids.
Actually, I do. This is where one of them gets put off into a booth with headphones.
Yeah, with the
innit?
headphones on.
And they chat to one about that your missus does this and that and that. And
Nah, not like that.
if the missus
Nah,
comes
this
out,
is on the game, isn't she?
Yeah.
No,
we
we
know,
know
what
her.
she's up to.
They just
We
ask
don't-
questions and they have to
But in
match
the-
the questions.
Yeah, if she don't match the questions to what, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's one of them.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. and all.
Quiz about what she's up to.
That's a different show, man. So yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Busman's Holiday. Now I remember the title, but I didn't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
What's it about? What's it even about?
It's like the saying, busman's holiday. It's where someone who goes on holiday, no, hold on, someone who goes on holiday and does what they do at work on holiday.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Or something
Something
similar.
like that?
Yeah.
It's the same.
So a
isn't it?
busman wouldn't go on a coach trip because they're driving a bus all day. They would not last.
They wouldn't want to spend the whole holiday on a
So the idea of this, I think, it was split up into teams of people who done the same work. So you would get maybe painters and decorators, butchers, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the winner of the competition, they would have to go on holiday and do their jobs in another country to see how they done, to see how it was done in a different way. Sort of thing.
That sounds like a great prize.
Exactly, yeah. It was weird, but
It sounds engaging.
like you say, it was one of them ones that ran for years. It ran for years and years. Never liked it, but as it was coming to an end, I'm sure I watched a few and I thought, it ain't too bad. The things they were doing, it weren't too bad.
Why
I
would
think
you
I
want to go on
started
holiday
getting
and
into
do
it.
the same thing you do at work? That doesn't make any sense.
It's weird, but I think the actual program was more about them winning that experience. I don't ever remember really seeing them do the experience. I just remember them doing games to be the winner of the show to go on that experience.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember there being a bit in the show to say, oh, here's what happened last week, or you would get that in Blind Date and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's what they done last week. I don't ever remember that bit, but like I
still
said, I didn't watch it
remember
many
the title.
times, but that was it seemed
I
popular.
do remember just seeing milkmen in their uniforms.
Yeah. It was always bus drivers,
conductors.
bus conductors and milkmen.
Why would you want
Postmen.
Why would you want to go on that show?
That seems weird.
Man, I don't know, but
Busman's holiday.
weekday shows to close it. I think this was my favourite one because, like Krypton Factor gives a clue. You join in, but this one, this was current, is of the time, and all ages could play. Man, name that tune.
Name that tune.
Yeah.
Name
Name that tune.
I wish that was still on.
And there's been so many variations of it. Now there's a BBC One now where couples name tunes. The girl from the Saturdays and the guy from JLS.
Oh, yeah.
They do a music You have to name tunes. I don't know the exact name
a
of
little
it.
bit of
That
that.
does ring a bell.
But
actually.
yeah, it's in that. And there's even
ring a bell.
games you can play with your friends, like name tune games. So I brought one along, and it's called Play That Tune.
Play that
Okay.
tune.
And so I've got what are these called? These
Yazoo.
like a
Kazoo.
little
Kazoo.
like an ooh
Kazoo?
kazoo.
Kazoos.
I think it's called a kazoo.
Yazoo's, who's
a humming little instrument.
yeah,
Hum down.
and you blow into these, and people got to guess what song you're producing by blowing into the
What tune it is?
Yeah.
kazoo. So I want to give you a little test with you guys and see if you guys can guess
Go on.
what I'm playing
Do a
on this.
couple.
Yeah. So
Go on then.
try this out.
What you got?
Can you hear it? Can that? Yeah. No, that's not the tune. I'm just testing.
Oh,
It's
okay,
my
okay.
testing.
Testing.
Okay, you not ready?
Yeah, go on.
Doctor Who.
Wow.
Doctor Who.
Yeah. That's really good, mate. Okay, let me try another one. Okay, you ready?
Rocky. Eye the Tiger.
Yeah. Damn right.
Try it from the
I thought it was
other
meant to
end.
be
No,
the
no,
other
no.
way, but it doesn't. We tried it. It don't work.
So Stacks, man, you got
Your kazoo
you got to get these,
knowledge
man.
has got me stepped up. Come on.
Okay. Let me
Try us with one more.
try and do one more. See if you know this.
Final countdown.
There you go. So yeah, guessing tunes is fun. And Name That Tune really brought that whole
It's the
family
playing along at
entertainment.
home, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
that,
the whole family entertainment.
Yeah.
Name that tune in one, but that
Yeah.
like you'd name
One
it as soon
beat.
as yeah.
I don't know how people could. How could they do
Yeah.
that?
No, I could.
In one beat, you
Of
just
course I
hit one
could.
piano
Yes,
key.
of course I could.
Gong.
Yes.
Oh, that was ABBA.
Yeah, I
How
could.
did you know that?
No, I know that. You can do that. It's not impossible, man.
If you're good with your music, I
Think
suppose.
of a song
I could never do it.
and
in
think of
one
the first note.
beat. Oh, okay.
And see if you
I
could
can't even think of one.
you could recognise it. But no,
Probably.
I can't remember who was the host of that now.
Tom O'Connor.
Tom O'Connor.
Remember Tom
I remember he had
O'Connor?
grey hair.
Grey hair.
He's another Liverpudlian,
I
right?
think he was, yeah.
Tom
Yeah, again, on
O'Connor.
the,
Yeah, I
on the
remember
comedy
him.
circuit.
Yes,
comedy
yes,
circuit
yes,
dude.
yes.
Like, I always remember he liked a jumper. He always had like different jumpers on
Yes.
each.
That's right.
Yes.
With like a Lyle Scott
Yeah.
jumper on and his
Yeah.
collar's coming out.
It seems like he done it for years, isn't it? He done one series.
Wow.
He done from
Des O'Connor do it after him?
Lionel Blair.
Lionel Blair done
Yeah,
it?
he done it
Yeah.
from
I
83
remember
to
Lionel Blair
84,
doing
then
it.
replaced Lionel Blair replaced
Did
him
he?
from 84 to 87. Which I don't remember that too much Lionel Blair. I just
I
remember
remember
it seems
Lionel
like Tom
Blair doing it,
O'Connor done it for
definitely.
years. I thought like a good run of them, but apparently 83 to 84.
Yeah, name that tune.
The name of that tune was good. I
Love
think it was a Wednesday night 8 o'clock slot for ITV.
Yeah, I love
what I
that.
remember.
Man. I love that.
Name that
Love
tune was good.
There's so many more. There's so many more game shows to get into. You know, starting with the weekend, man. But we get onto that on another podcast. So thanks for listening to our game show podcast part 1. We went through the daytime and weekday shows, and make sure you stay tuned to game shows in the 80s.
Coming soon.
You know, you've got to let the people know what's going on.
If you liked our show, remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud and Spotify. Wherever you get your podcast from, we're there. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We'd be grateful if you could leave us a review. Get involved and contact us with suggestions for future shows. Comment on our socials or email us at urbanshapers@hotmail.com. Remember, follow Instagram and Facebook at Urban Shapers and check out our Facebook group and page at Old School Movements.
Didn't you like my Yazoo
In the
thing?
background.
That's why I tried to give you a music on top of music, like a Big Mac music. A Big Mac music, y'all. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Those were the days I remember.